Hello and welcome to another episode of Demystifying Hindu Philosophy, Mythology, and Rituals. Today I'd like to talk about yajnas or fire rituals. Modern Hindus do not understand the deeper significance of yajnas, therefore, they cannot relate to how throwing a few things into a fire and chanting mantras can appease the gods and grant them boons. In any case, they don't believe in gods, but rather at the hard work and trying to, relying on themselves to manifest what they want. So let us try to understand yajna, the concept of yajnas from the Puranic stories. Usually, rishis and the kings would do a yajna, and let's take the example of a king. Normally, if there is a drought in the kingdom, the king would do a yajna and do a sacrifice where he would donate lavishly to the poor and the needy, and then if the yajna was successful, the rains would come and peace and prosperity would be restored. Now, the metaphor of rain was very carefully chosen by the rishis to convey a certain concept, a basic foundational idea of yajna. Rains are signify a natural process, a universal process, a feedback loop. Now let's understand this. Every being in this earth needs food. And for food we need rain, and for rain we need rain clouds, and for rain clouds we need evaporation from water bodies. All sizes of water bodies, puddles, lakes, ponds, rivers and oceans. Now if any of these water bodies refuse to contribute water to the rain clouds, if the puddles and the lakes said, oh, we don't have enough water, we cannot contribute, or the oceans and rivers said, oh, why should we be the only ones contributing to the rain clouds, this would break the natural cycle. And this is a symbolically, once this metaphor of the rain cycle can be used to any cycle or any situation, whether that is in an individual, in a family, or in a community or company, or a country, or even the world. If the individual organs in a body decide to not work together and do the best they can, the health of the individual being will be compromised. Likewise, if you in a family, if the individual family members, whether they are parents or children, don't do the best that they can do, it will affect the peace, prosperity and success of the family. And the same thing can be taken to a community or a company, and also to a country. Individual citizens, each of them have to perform the best that they can, contribute. Individual contribution has to be at the highest level quality for that country to succeed. And likewise, each country has to the contribution of each country to world peace and world prosperity has to be at the highest level, irrespective of the abilities of the other countries. So that is why the metaphor of the rain cycle was taken, because it beautifully explains a cycle, a natural process. Now let's understand the other components of yajna, the fire ritual. There are two things that we have to understand first. Yajna is yat gya. Yat means that, gya means knowledge. So that which is to be known will be known when the feedback loop is complete and perfect. So that is yajna, the two process. And now we'll talk about sacrifice. In these yajnas, the kings or whoever did the sacrifice, the fire ritual, the yajna, donated or sacrificed the best of what they had, the best food, the best clothes, the best jewelry, and donated lavishly to the poor and needy. Not the leftover, not the spare, not whatever they could not use, the best. And hence the word sacrifice, because yajna spirit involves tyaga, which means sacrifice or detachment. So it helps us to control fear, greed and envy. That is an essential process of yajna. And so when you sacrifice to what? To the fire. What is important about the fire? The fire has two qualities. The first quality is it always rises up, and the second quality is it burns away impurities. No matter how you hold a fire, the flames will always point upwards, never downwards. That is why fire is associated with wisdom, with growth, because we rise up. And along with it, simultaneously we have to burn away our negative and lower qualities. So that is why it's called a fire ritual, the sacrifice. And the yajnas need not always involve actual fire, but the concept of fire, that we put something, an individual contribution, the purity, pure, and the individual contributions have to be of high quality, pure, into a fire that will burn away impurities and take it upwards to where? To the Brahman, which is the universal or the collective, sameshti. Collective what? Collective mind, collective consciousness, collective awareness. And then the devatas are happy. Now devatas, let's understand what devatas are. The gods is a poor translation of the Sanskrit word and concept devatas. The root word for devatas is div. Div means to illuminate, or to the ability to perceive or know the truth. So when the quality of the individual contribution, whether that be in the form of goods or services or thoughts or financial contribution, is of the highest purity and value, then the devatas are pleased that our ability to know or perceive the deeper truth is enhanced. And what are these abilities? It's basically our sense organs, our mind and intellect. By cleansing our the quality of information that we gather through our sense organs and through our mind and intellect, will determine the quality of our life. And that applies to all members, whether it is in a family or a country or in the world. So devatas is not God. We ourselves are relying on our hard work and the quality of our individual contribution to ensure collective good, peace, prosperity and happiness. So we have talked about intention, we have talked about sacrifice, detachment, to contribute. The individual contribution has to be of the highest quality. We have talked about fire, that means the desire to rise up and to burn away lower or limiting qualities. And we've talked about devatas. These are not gods, these are our ability to perceive and know the truth. And so that takes care of the concept of yagya. Now there are the rishis have talked about many kinds of yagyas that one may choose to do, but there are 5 yagyas that are prescribed for everybody to maintain the purity of natural cycles, be that in the human being or in a family or in a country or in the world. And these 5 yagyas are called, first is Rishi Yagya, second is Deva Yagya, third is Pitru Yagya, fourth is Manushya Yagya, and fifth is Bhuta Yagya. Now these are all feedback cycles, natural cycles that if broken will impact not just the individual who's breaking the rule, but everybody else. The collective will be impacted. The first one, Rishi Yagya, because rishis were the visionaries, the repositories of wisdom, high wisdom, deep wisdom. So in the feedback of wisdom, of knowledge, there has to be the individual contribution has to be of the highest order. If anybody tries to withhold or give incorrect information, it will break that wisdom cycle. So that is one thing one has to understand, that the information that we gather is not just for ourselves. We have to share it with the collective. Our information, our knowledge, our wisdom, it's a cycle. Contribute, the individual contribution has to be of the highest quality, to the best of our ability, and maintain that cycle. That is a yagya cycle, normally called jnana yagya sometimes. And then is the Deva Yagya. Again, Deva Yagya is, we talked about our senses, our mind and our intellect. So that feedback loop, the information that comes in to our through our sense organs, our mind and intellect, that feedback loop or that natural cycle has to be maintained. What goes in is what comes out. The quality of information that goes in is going to rain back the similar quality of benefits. Then we have Pitru Yagya. Now this is another natural cycle of looking after our, there are two sides to Pitru Yagya, Pitru and Putra. So, depending on how we look after our parents and caregivers and our, whether they are living or whether they've passed away in the form of gratitude, will determine how our progeny will look after us. So there is that cycle of how we are grateful for what we have got from our parents, our caregivers, our ancestors, and it rains back as good family life and continuing that culture of taking care. It's a cycle between the parents and the children. Then there is a Manusha Yagya, which is the duty we owe to each other as human beings. If there is a distress or suffering experienced by one human being, it is going to reflect in all of our realities sooner or later. We either fix that breakdown of that feedback loop, or sooner or later we will experience that as we are experiencing during the coronavirus. That if somebody breaks the rules or contributes less than the best that they can do, it affects the entire collective energy. Doesn't matter who starts it. And then finally we have the Bhuta Yagya, which is the elements and the animals and the plants, the natural world. There is a natural cycle and feedback loop in the natural world also. So if there is any injustice, inequality, or aberration in the way we treat the animals, the plants, the water bodies, the forests, the entire natural world, it will impact the rains, meaning the feedback loop will be broken. What we need to know would not be known unless we start to do a yagya. Again, what is a yagya? Yagya. That which is to be known will be known when we restore that feedback cycle. And how do we restore that feedback cycle? We do a fire sacrifice. Sacrifice is we have to, in any sacrifice, it involves fasting and giving the best that we have into a fire. So fasting does not just mean fasting of food, but fasting means monitoring the consumption not just of food, but of information, not feeding into the mass hysteria, mass negativity, and stepping back and understanding where this natural cycle has broken down and what needs repair. So we have to also take this time to go inwards and meditate and introspect and reflect the kind of food we're eating, the kind of thoughts and entertainment we are having, and the kind of collective behavior we are displaying towards other human beings, towards in the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, natural world. It will reflect if our individual contribution is of low quality, we will experience pain and suffering. So this is the whole concept of yagya. Yagya means yagya, that which is to be known will be known when we step back and look at where the natural cycles have been broken in body, mind, spirit, in the kingdom, in a country, in a company, in a family, and then each individual deciding to contribute the best individual contribution to the collective, and then that collective will, the devas will be pleased, meaning our ability to know and perceive the truth will be enhanced, and then we will do what it needs to do to restore the cycle, which will be reflected by the benefits being rained back to all the individual members. So that's all I have to say about yagyas. I hope that you got some ideas that you would like you take back and mull over and think about it, and see how you can start a yagya of your own, whether to fix any breakdown of your natural cycle in your body, mind, and intellect, or if there has been a breakdown in your natural cycle in your family or in your company or in your country, or definitely in the world, if each of us, our individual contribution is of the purest quality into the collective, the natural cycle will be restored and there will be rain, which is the benefits will be felt by every member of this global world, global community, the peace, the prosperity, the success. I hope that you like this talk, and if there is any questions, please comment and I'll try my best to address it. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so, so that you will be informed of future videos. And I thank you for inspiring and encouraging me to make more videos like this. Until we meet again, please stay safe and take care. Thank you.